largest crypto apps. I will fire Gary.
Hello crypto family, welcome back to BlockTalk. And it's Kumar here and we have Vaishnav for this episode. Today's episode is all about events that's happening, crypto related events.
Yes.
That's happening in India and in the globe. These are pretty big events and very popular events, and mostly these events happen towards the end of the year when a lot of people are looking into a lot of events. They also have some free time where they get some vacation time, and people wisely use it to attend a few crypto events. I think that's what you also have to do. And do let us know in the comments, is there any specific event that you guys are attending? We would try to we will make sure that we'll also be there and we can meet up there.
Yeah, we will also make sure that we get good coverages for you from those events and post it on Coin.Daily YouTube. And in the industry like crypto, where it's remote first, most of the teams, like 90% of the teams are remote. Events like this happens to be a great place to catch up with other builders and all other people who are in this industry. So the upcoming events and the running events are like in this week itself we have Korea Blockchain Week running, and in 26, 27 and 28th of September we have ETH Global in Delhi, which is a huge.
It's a very big event that's happening in the Indian
ecosystem.
The entire community is coming through. People, it's been making huge rounds for a couple of months.
Yes.
I don't know, there was one famous train that was actually booked by the entire community. It was called as ETH train.
It was called BlockTrain.
BlockTrain, yeah.
BlockTrain was done by Devfolio, which was sponsored by Noise and Base. This train departed from Bangalore on 20th, and by now 22nd it must be in Delhi, and that was also Asia's first train hackathon. So it's actually
that was very interesting. There was a hackathon that was actually happening on a moving train, and all the developers were on the same train going to a same place for attending the same event, and that is something very nice to even hear about. And
as you can see on the pictures, you can see their opening ceremony was done in a theater.
Oh, nice.
They hired the theater, cinema hall, and they had their opening ceremony over there. And I also, my feed full of images like this where they gave a lot of goodies and everybody were hacking from the train. We do have lots of images from the train which we would share, which we will show in the screen.
Of course, these events comes with a lot of perks, and the biggest perk is.
And everybody was thinking of like, what would be the internet? What about the internet? But they managed it somehow. They got 5G speeds internet inside the train.
On the train.
So
that shows how strong the infrastructure is in India. One of the best in internet infrastructures in the world when we have to talk about India. So that is one thing, and there are a lot of other side events that's happening around this main event, ETH India.
Yes,
around ETH Global Delhi.
We have hacker houses from Bloops and other hacker houses like AppToss is having their own hacker house. There is also community run hackathons like AthenaFoss is a purely community run. It's a developer community run by themselves. It's not funded by any other company and all. They are having their very first hackathon in this week around ETH Global. So the whole ecosystem is thriving, and after this week, if you come to September 29th to October 5th, we have the biggest one of the biggest global conference which happens yearly wise, Token2049, Singapore. And we would also be heading there and giving you some juicy updates and also collecting some merch for you guys. What do you think?
Of course,
who doesn't like merch?
So, like there are a lot of events like this. Like other events, there's some Korea Blockchain Week that's happening. There's BlockTrain. I mean, the same BlockTrain which was connected to ETH Global. Then there's community run events such as AthenaFoss.
Yes.
What about that?
AthenaFoss. FOSS stands for OS means open source. Free and open source initiatives is what in short is called as FOSS. FOSS.
Yeah.
So AthenaFoss is a community run developers group in which there are only 300 members. Selective 300 members who have proved their method that they can code really good and contribute to open source ones. So that community is having their first hacker house in Delhi in this week.
Okay.
And it's a huge
So you're saying that we as a community right now we have to all go towards Delhi And once we finish at Delhi, we all have to go towards Singapore.
Yes.
Okay, guys, I think we have to be following Vaishnav and where the community is moving.
Yeah.
And this is where everyone is going to, it's a good opportunity for all of us to meet and share our ideas and knowledge.
So the next thing is some really good crypto airdrops were being teased by the respective protocols for which people have been waiting for a long time. Like Metamask wallet, the OG wallet.
That's what you're saying about TGE, token generation.
Yes. So Metamask wallet is saying that they will be releasing their own mask tokens very soon. And Rabby wallet will have their own token. Base network, which did not have any token till now, Coinbase's on L2. They are exploring a network token in this quarter. So it's a bullish news for a lot of crypto natives and some bearish news because people were like, Base was the one of the rare L2s which was very aligned to Ethereum's development, but them releasing their own token will fragment the liquidity further.
Of course. No, market has always been bullish, and especially with such big events around the corner and with very good innovations happening in this space, I think the market looks very bullish. And for sure, I mean, people meet up in these conferences and events here. The community has more community engagement. There's a lot more conversations that actually happen. That leads to a better development phase. So it definitely looks very bullish as a market overall. And there are some specific cases here. There's something called ASTHER, right? There's a currency called ASTHER. It pumped like multifold. It happened because CZ Binance founder, who very seldom puts out any kind of his views, personal interests, personal opinions about any tokens on a public forum. It's very rarely done, and in this case he did it, and the price just started to shoot.
So he tweeted about the ASTHER, as you can see on the screen, on 0.17 price, and the caption was, "Well done, good start, keep building."
That's it.
And people went berserk, like CZ does not even shield any token, but if he has started to shield a token, there has to be some substance inside it. And the lore behind this is crazy, because if you even take our own podcast, for the past 4-5 podcasts we have been talking about Hyperliquid a lot. Hyperliquid has been,
we have been mentioning at least once in
So Hyperliquid has been doing great strides. The thing is, Hyperliquid is also slow and steadily capturing Binance's markets. In the point of Binance, do see them as a contender, and Binance being the very first company to do a DEX-based platform, like Binance was a thing in 2022, but it did not pick it up. That was not a good time. But Hyperliquid was in the right time at the right place to get all the DEX wallets inside. And Binance is now like, okay, the thesis behind this, CZ now wants to catch up. And CZ sees Hyperliquid as a great contender. So he needs his own platform to fight a battle with him. He can't do Binance, he can't control Binance to do it. So what he is doing is, he is building another kid.
So instead of getting directly involved,
he is doing a proxy war.
Right, of course.
With ASTHER.
I mean, he's been advised not to get involved with
Yes.
for some time. I think he's finding out different routes to be in this industry and be relevant in this industry. And being relevant in this industry is very important right now. We are such a fast-paced industry. Things change very quickly. Being relevant as a person, as a product, is very, very important.
And there was, and Caesar had an interview with Farouk from Blood Radio some months before, and that snippet is going viral again now, because he was mentioning about some product which they are investing on, like PrepTexas, and they were also mentioning on how PrepTexas are needed, because in centralized exchanges everything is on order book, everything is visible. If you are a trader with huge volume but do not want to show that volume outside, you need to have some privacy, some secrecy behind your trades, so that not other people come and hunt you actively your trades. Caesar also wanted to have DEXs some dark pools. Dark pools is a concept where trades are not being reflected on the order books itself. It runs behind the shadows. And Caesar is also bringing this feature in ASTHER, and he is bringing this feature so that huge traders can put massive volume trades without getting hunted or without getting exposed to the public's scrutiny. That's why Aster is pumping so hard. We will have a look over it, and other prep dexes like Avantis, which is on base, is also doing great. There are many other tokenless preps which is teasing to do token launches like Lighter.
So do you think it's a good time to launch tokens? I mean, they've been doing good in their own verticals that they've been doing. Don't you think it's additional, launching a token? I don't think there are already so many tokens, and all the big tokens already kind of saturated.
That's what you think, but you can't stop people from launching their new tokens, because new tokens brings in new attention and new money.
Correct.
That's what they need. That.
Yeah, I agree. But too much of attention, too much of new money, too much of projects. The money just gets diversified to such a large extent that even if there's a big move somewhere, it doesn't really make a big impact in the industry as a whole. Right? I mean, it's in a way it's safe because you have mitigated risk across so many projects. There's one big move or one big fall, it doesn't really affect the market, and that which used to happen at least 3-4 years back, right? So definitely the industry as overall is maturing very, very finely. We would get more to know about it once we and the community we start meeting more in such big events, talking more about these subjects in depth, in person. That's the real thing that could get about the change.
Yes, and countering on your last sentence, like market is already getting saturated, right? We can see the after effects of this, especially because if you take tokens which which launched tokens in last cycle, recent like 3 months before, like for example Scroll, Movement, Verachain. If you see their current stack, as I say on the screen, Movement does have, for the last 24 hours, they had only $11 of chain revenue. Verachain had only $450.
How will they sustain? I mean,
that's what
still making money for a single meal, and they are running such expensive networks.
So there are so many. It's getting saturated is what we are getting from this, because they are launching L1's projects back to back, but there is no revenue being done.
I mean, the concentration of users also has to be in currency, right? I mean, if something has to move, there has to be some utility to it. There has been given some utility, and there are so many competing competitions, alternatives. What they call competitions, alternatives, that people are so into everything that there's no one single market, and not one single chain is able to make money. I mean, they're not even able to make the bare minimum to sustain the chain.
Yes, actually, yes. Even I'm also bringing in another protocol which is very infamous for this. It's called Story. Story protocol raised so many millions of dollars. Even the founder exited recently. But their chain revenue. Their chain revenue is also around $400 only. The total value logged is 45 million. It's one of the top 100 coins. But still, there is no chain revenue. This is what happens when we keep on launching tokens back to back.
I mean, there's so many things. There's so many new things happening. The community is not able to catch up. Right?
Yeah.
The projects has to also be limited and focused. It's not limited. It has to be so focused. Even the usage, the valuations. It actually makes sense to a normal average investor like us. Again, I mean, it's still a very new industry, and we can't say stop growing, stop making new things.
Yes.
That actually destroys everything, right? There has to be new things, there has to be new development. Also, the community has to be more engaging with such kind of products, also give business to such kind of companies or chains. I mean, basically giving business is just getting actively involved in those chains, and also participating in events, events that are happening around you, where you get a better outlook for the entire industry. I mean, right now, whoever is involved right now, let's say we are just like not even 1% of this population, right? If this 1% of the population, let's say per se 1% of population, moves with a sense of purpose, sense of direction for the industry, I think this 1% can convert it to 2-3% very quickly. That market adoption could be much faster and more efficient is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, so that's what we are aiming as in this industry as a whole, and I do believe that these events which are happening around will bring in more adoption into this industry. I do hope so. That's it. This is your quick bites of this podcast. Hope you enjoyed this quick cover up, and
Sure, and also please do leave us a comment or for if you guys need any help with procuring any of the tickets or passes to such.
Yeah, we do have discount codes.
We
in the
do have some
description.
discount codes. We have some partnerships with a couple of companies. So you guys want some passes? We could try our best.
Yes.
It was a very short and crisp episode, specifically focused morely about the events that were happening, and we would love to, we would love everyone joins for such kind of events. That's it for today. Thank you very much. See you. Bye bye.